Some days ago, YouTube recommended a video titled The Villains of Dead by Daylight, and after watching it, I gotta be honest, it was not what I expected at all. No offense to the content creator, but you cannot title your video like this and not even mention Ochido, who is by far worse than any of the people featured on that video, and putting an attention-seeking bigot and comparing him to a satire TikTok account and True Talent, whose biggest drama is saying Original Spirit had counterplay, is just weird. But in defense of the creator, I understand that the video was done just to entertain in a comedic, more light-hearted sense based on the tone, so serious topics like Drake stuff would be avoided, or maybe they were not in the community back when the Ochido drama happened. But in any case, would you like to see a real villain? Well, let's talk about TheShowstopper, the most vile Dead by Daylight content creator. Rashawn Jamar Kelly, better known by his digital alias TheShowstopper, was a lawyer graduating from New York Law School in 2012 and passed the bar exam in 2014, after which he founded the Kelly and Associates legal company where he would specialize as an attorney focused in business and security law. According to his own page in avo.com, he was apparently a good lawyer. As we can see, he was pretty active back between 2016 and 2017, with 14 of the 15 reviews rating him with 5 stars, some even claiming that he was a genius and the only lawyer they would need. The only bad review that Rashawn got was his last ever review on the 28th of October 2017, where they claimed that he would be too busy and took too long to respond. This could have been because in June of 2017, Behavior finally released Dead by Daylight for consoles, and he was too busy playing against high MMR survivors on his PS4. This is how his digital persona, TheShowstopper, was born, as that's around when he started streaming Dead by Daylight on Twitch, and this is where some of you veterans might know or remember him from back in the days. Something important we have to remember is that before August of 2020, Dead by Daylight had no crossplay between platforms, so the divide between PC and console was bigger. This is why some content creators focused purely on the console gameplay, and TheShowstopper was no exception, as he was playing a lot, to the point that he claimed that he was the player with the highest devotion rank across all platforms, which is basically the equivalent of putting Prestige 100 or high MMR lobbies in your Twitch stream title nowadays. But this was still an impressive feat, as it proved he had many hours invested into the game. In January of 2019, he was Devotion 12, and just to give you some perspective, I have almost 3,000 hours of the game and I have been playing since the Nurse release, and I am only at Devotion 9. TheShowstopper was a complete addict to Dead by Daylight, and thanks to his dedication to the game, he was able to amass a respectable Twitch following. TheShowstopper would be your classic killer main, in that he was very competitive and very toxic. He would focus on educational streams, where he would teach his viewers how to become better in Dead by Daylight. According to one Facebook post he made way back, he described himself as aggressive, making an all-out effort to win or succeed, competitive, boldly assertive and forward, pushy. Keep this in mind because this is going to age like milk, but nevertheless, we can't call him a liar, because this was reflected in his gameplay. He did everything he could to win. He would act toxic back to toxic players, and he would keep grinding and working on his streams to be the highest devotion player in Dead by Daylight. TheShowstopper's Twitter account and YouTube channel are still up, and you can find various educational videos on it, like balance patches, discussions, guides for certain killers, competitive match reviews. Overall, despite being toxic, he was still helping his community become better at playing the game. If only he did tutorials about how to be a decent human being. On January 5th of 2019, while on his streaming grind, his show was stopped as he was arrested for 3 incidents that happened between December of 2014 to January of 2015, times where he was still a practicing attorney. Sadly, the clip showcasing his last stream before this is completely gone, so I cannot show it.
The lawyer accused in a series of assaults from 4 years ago claimed he was innocent when he was arraigned overnight.
Good morning, Tony. Not only is he accused in those 3 attacks in Manhattan, cops say he's also accused in other attacks. Now, 35-year-old Sean Kelly was in court. This is him last night. Now, he's accused of assaulting 3 women in Lower East Side, Harlem, and in the East Village.
As you just heard, the showstopper was accused of 3 attacks that happened 4 years ago. The first attack, on December 16th, 2014, Rashawn would follow a 23-year-old woman into her apartment building around 12:45 a.m., where he took advantage of the late night hours and claustrophobic confines of the elevator in order to corner her and forcibly kiss her. The next day, at around 4:20 in the morning, the showstopper would follow a 20-year-old woman into her apartment, where he would chase after her back to the empty lobby hallway. He captured her, covered her mouth, and took her phone away so she could not call the police for help. All of this to take advantage of her. And finally, on January 14th of 2015, at around 2:15 a.m., the showstopper would follow a 32-year-old woman into her apartment, where he again would chase her into the hallway, grab her, fought her while she was resisting, and started to pull down her pants while putting his hand around her neck, only to later flee after she started screaming. However, the showstopper would not plead guilty at anything that he was accused of. In fact, this is his reaction incurred after these accusations. The showstopper was sure that the charges would be dropped, as he completely denied all of these allegations. When asked if he did it, it took him 30 seconds only to answer that he never attacked a woman in those ways. These allegations would destroy his career and his reputation, with various complaints of him saying that he would no longer get any clients, he lost his reputation, his practice, his life, that he was being framed for these attacks, and that he missed being free. He remained locked up on a $200,000 bail. However, sometime after, the charges were dropped. Now, with these serious allegations ruining any chances he had of continuing being a lawyer, his plan was to keep this as a secret and continue streaming on Twitch. The showstopper did everything he could in order to prevent his viewers from finding out about these horrible actions. A DbD player by the name of Zetsu made an entire video exposing him as the monster he was, which was copyright claimed by the showstopper in order to prevent the fire from spreading. Now again, as someone who has studied law, it's true that before accusing someone of extremely brutal crimes, we first have to confirm beyond any reasonable doubt that the defendant was guilty. However, we know that the internet is brutal, especially with such allegations. Anyone who would mention any of the allegations would instantly be banned. But you cannot keep things a secret once they leak on the internet, and various posts appear that still paint him in a very terrible light. On the same news article detailing his arrest, they found that on his Facebook accounts, he would post very weird stuff, like a joke about a case where his own sister would be taken advantage of, and another post calling women as illogical creatures. Even if the allegations were not him, this would still be enough to, at the very least, see that the showstopper was a weirdo. However, things were not going well for him on Twitch, as on the 24th of February of 2021, he would get banned during 3 days, and on the 3rd of March of that same year, he would eventually get a perma-ban, which forced the showstopper to go livestream on YouTube in order to continue his streaming career, where he would play various games and interact with various DbD updates, but not as frequently since the news about him were spreading, even if a bit. But after this Twitch ban, things seemed to calm for him, with the biggest accusations being that he view-botted his streams to get more visibility. That was until November 1st of 2022. Remember his face when he was accused of doing all those vile acts to those defenseless women? Remember how the only thing he cared about was how his reputation was ruined, how he missed his freedom, and how he was set up and mistreated? All the cover-up attempts during his streams trying to keep these accusations a secret, how he dedicated his life to study law. Well, his case from 2019 was reopened again thanks to an anonymous tip and a crucial piece of evidence: DNA evidence. See, during his last attack on January 14th of 2015, while he was fighting the 32-year-old victim and pulling her pants down, the moment he fled, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence that would fully confirm Rashawn Kelly was behind the crimes. His headphones contained his DNA, which matched. On November 1st, 2022, Rashawn Kelly, also known as the Showstopper, was found guilty of all the charges against him, including attempted in the first degree, 3 counts of burglary, second-degree sexually motivated felony, 2 counts of sex in the first degree, 1 count of attempted in the first degree, and 1 count of criminal obstruction of breath and blood circulation, which is choking for those unfamiliar with law terms. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison and 15 years of post-release supervision. If you watched my iceberg video, this is the problematic content creator I was talking about. Let's hope that, since he is in prison, he won't be able to copyright strike this video. All information shown here is publicly available on the internet. This is a reminder that you as a viewer should not put anyone besides yourself on a pedestal, and you should not form any parasocial relationships with content creators. You as a viewer don't know who we are or what we do in our private times, because it's really easy to show a fake face on the internet while being vile behind the cameras. I hope this video was enough to inform you about the true nature of some of the people that exist in our society, and that the true monsters are not the unknown or the trapper, but instead people like the Showstopper, who hide behind an innocent facade only to perform some of the most vile acts possible. Make sure to like if you enjoy this type of content, and if you enjoy real cases like this, I have a Legion video you might enjoy which performed real bad because I accidentally uploaded at 6 AM while everyone was sleeping. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.